Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevy.
Hey, folks, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us, hey, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Also presented by the Bank of Billings, established in 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. And once again, we go to Webster Groves High School in St. Louis, and we bring in the statesman and head basketball coach, Justin Mathis. And, Coach, thanks so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you. Always glad to be on, and appreciate all you guys do for high school sports in Missouri.
Coach, 25-5 this year. Talk a little bit about coming into this season, what you had to replace due to graduation. As we talked about a little bit off air, you've got a number of players playing at UMSL that are still alive here in the college basketball ranks. But talk about what you had to replace coming into this season.
Yeah, coming into the season, we'd lost a McDonald's All-American nominee, 2 times All-State player, and Isaiah Purvey, who you had mentioned is playing with the Tritons now, and they've got a big one in the NCAA D2 tournament tonight. So he was he was a big part of our offense, and also just provided us size and rebounding on the interior. So I think going into the summer, between losing him and Charlie Pearl and a couple other shooters, and Holmes Hanson, who's playing at Westminster, it was, to me, the question was a lot about rebounding and, could we guard on the interior against bigger teams that we're going to see at the Class 5 and Class 6 level? Could we, hold our own in the paint? And I think our guys have responded, and it's nobody has replaced Isaiah's numbers individually, but we've what we call gang rebounding. We've been pretty successful at, and, a lot of guys averaging 5, 6, 7 in that area. So, replacing Purvey was not an easy task, and it took us a while to adjust. There was a time in December when we were sitting at 4-3, and I'd lost 2 of our last 3 by double digits. And I know the schedule we had lined up, and you were kind of thinking, what did we get ourselves into? But I think this team's improved as much as any that I've coached, and I think I knew we had potential, but there was a time when 25-5 in the Final Four seemed long ways away. So these guys have really bought into practicing more consistently, more competitively, and are, made progress a little bit every day.
You've won winners of 8 in a row right now as you head into the Final Four. What are some things you feel like right now you're doing really well as a team, or even on an individual basis?
And just having different guys step up on any given night. I've got Brady Chappelle on my left shoulder here. We're going against Sykeston last Saturday, and they've got Trey Sadler in the middle, who is every bit of 7 foot, Division I big. And I thought Brady really held his own defensively, held him in single digits, and went for 19 and double-digit rebounds offensively. So I thought he really stepped up on Saturday. Aiden Sanders is on my other shoulder in the district championship against Vianney. They were in a really good rhythm offensively, and Aiden came off the bench and gave us 8 points off the bench that I thought was at a critical junction when they were on a run. And, I mentioned Brady did a good job on Saturday, but he did pick up 2 fouls early in the game. And Eddie Peplo, who's the other one on my right shoulder, came in and battled with the big. So anytime you're going to make a run with like we are, you're going to have different guys step up on different nights, and just, it takes what it takes in March. It's a pass or fail test, and our guys have answered the bell. And, obviously our point guard Atkinson is playing at a very, very high level, and he was dynamite, especially in the second half on Saturday. So when you've got your point guard playing that well and other guys that are stepping up when their number's called, it's been a good combination for us here late in the season.
And one of the better games over the weekend, including the Final Four games and all the quarterfinal games, was your game with Sykeston, 71-70. Take us down the last maybe 90 seconds of that game and what that was like.
I think I'd rather talk about the first half. The Statesmen were a little better in the first half, but you're playing Sykeston, an unbelievable team who's had a great season. They've got start 5 seniors, bring a few more off the bench, very veteran squad, and you're trying to knock them out on their home court, and they're not going to lay down and go down quietly. And so they made a heck of a run. They've had success with the pressure defense all year, and they turned it up a notch in the fourth quarter on us. And our 10-point lead going in the fourth got erased pretty quickly. But you mentioned the last 90 seconds. I thought we executed much better the last 90 seconds to close out the game. Yeah. They got a bucket to go up one. Atkinson got in transition, went coast to coast, split. I don't know, I lost track of about the fourth defender that he split and went by and got a layup to put us back on top. Got a timeout. We had fouls to give, and our guys executed using those really well. We were able to keep it out of PJ's hands and force some sideline out of bounds and eventually force a turnover. So, both me and Sykeston were out of timeouts, and our guys were able to use the fouls we had to give wisely and get the ball in bounds and all those, little things that, don't always show up on the stat sheet, but our guys did it in those last 90 seconds, and it was the difference in moving on.
Now you've got three young men there beside you. Start to over your left shoulder there and introduce him, and we'll visit with him.
All right, we've got Brady Schupeltz. He's number 30 for us. Starts at the forward position, and he's headed to Grinnell University next year to continue his basketball career.
Brady, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Tell us a little bit about what your roles and responsibility are on this team.
Like Coach said, we lack size after losing Isaiah last year, so I've kind of been stepping in, guarding the other team's big men every game. I shoot the ball a lot from three at a pretty high clip, so I think I do a good job at stretching out the other team's bigs. And then I like to sack crash the boards pretty much every time on defense and offense, so good for rebounding.
Do you like the physicality of defending someone?
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Which is probably not something I would have said Brady was known for earlier in his career as an underclassman, but he's really, I don't know, embraced that role, bought into it. Him and Eddie are the options we have there, and they've done a tremendous job of it.
Brady, tell us a little bit about how you kind of get prepared for a game. Let's see, you've got a game tomorrow at 6 p.m. What are you doing like today and tomorrow to kind of get mentally and physically prepared? Are you drinking lots of water? Are you watching lots of film, going through things in your mind? What's the next 24 hours going to be like for you?
I like to eat a lot, drink a lot of water, of course. And I like to get a lift in, like a light lift in with a lot of stretching, get my body ready. I get shots up in the morning, trying to make sure my shot's right before the game. Make sure I get enough sleep, things like that.
Coming into this season, when you looked at your schedule and the opponents that you had, maybe the tournaments, was there any particular opponent or maybe a tournament that you were looking very forward to? Maybe it's a rivalry game. Maybe it's, someone on the other team. Were there games you really look forward to?
Probably Kirkwood and Marquette, because Kirkwood, it's our big rivalry. Everyone knows that. And I'm a senior. It's my last time playing against them. And then Marquette, because I just have a lot of friends on Marquette.
And you, Coach, talked about you've made your decision for next year. Tell us about that from your standpoint and what went into that decision.
Well, I knew I was going to go for like the high academic D3 route because, student comes first, and Grinnell's a really good school. And then I had some options in the Northeast on the coast, and I had like some in Ohio, but what it really came down to, I have a lot of family in Iowa, so that played a big role. And then the coaches seemed really cool, and I got along well with the players.
Any particular area of study?
I'm undecided. I might try out economics, but that'll probably change.
Yeah, you're way smarter than I am. My major in college was eligibility. All my classes. Very good. Well, Brady, hey, congratulations on being part of the team of the week, and good luck over the weekend. Go get the biggest trophy, and we'll do this all over again next week.
Sounds good. Thank you,
Coach. Who's over your right shoulder?
My right shoulder is a senior guard, Aiden Sanders.
Aiden, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Tell us a little bit about your roles and responsibilities.
I'm kind of like the sixth man, seventh man off the bench. Come in a lot to mainly play defense, guard the other team's best guard, quickest player, kind of a couple shots on one map there.
Tell us who's been your toughest assignment defensively this year? Who's someone that kind of gave you fits?
I would say in our first game against Aaron Rowe, because he's just really quick and very twitchy. Yeah, I would say he's probably the toughest player I had to guard.
So you draw the toughest assignment when you come into the game, as I understand it.
Yep, usually.
That's good. That's good. If I'm playing against you and you come here guarding me, I'm going to feel good. What are you looking forward to about this trip to the Final Four? What is something that you're looking forward to?
I mean, obviously getting a ring, but other than that, I'm just happy I get to spend my last few games playing with my teammates, and so I'm just gonna enjoy that while I still have it.
What do you do to get prepared for a game? Do you eat a lot of food like Brady, or what do you do?
Not as much. But I'll eat a few meals. I don't really like to eat too much on game day. Kind of, it doesn't make me feel right. So I'll get like a meal or two in, breakfast, lunch, and then I'll eat like a little quick snack. Make sure I get a lot of water in me and a good night's sleep the night before.
If you could go back this season and play one game over again, maybe you had a lot of fun in the game, you won that game, or maybe it's a game that got away from you, or maybe you felt like you should have won. What game would you like to just go back and play and have that experience again?
I would say probably the Vianney game, because that was the most fun game I've probably played in my high school career, just because who we were playing against, and that was my highest scoring game in my career. So it was just a lot of fun scoring and winning against Vianney.
That's just a week ago. You're not going back very
Mm-hmm.
We've faced Vianney 4 times in the playoffs in the last every year these guys' high school career as we've seen Vianney, and we split it 2-2 with Mr. Walsh. So you want to talk about all the elements of a great high school rivalry, public rivalry, 10 minutes apart, games sell out. It was it was just unbelievable high school basketball game. They played well, we played well. We were fortunate to get the last run in.
Very good. Well, Aiden, hey, congratulations. Best of luck, and hey, safe travels on the way up there. And Coach, who do we have to your far right now?
Eddie Peplo, senior guard forward for us, and like I said, gave us big minutes on Saturday, trying to battle inside. One of our best rebounders that we have.
You say Heath?
Eddie Peplo.
Eddie, I'm sorry. Eddie, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Well, tell us a little bit about your roles and responsibilities on this team.
I go in and I go in and fill in any roles that really needed to be filled. I feel like I help in multiple scenarios defensively. I can guard a quick guard. I can guard the bigs when we need when we lack in size compared to other teams.
What do you do to kind of get prepared? I mean, do you watch film? I mean, obviously you do, but film, water, what are you doing to kind of get prepared for tomorrow's game?
Practices before, we watch film with the team. We go over scout. We go over who we're going to be guarding and like the little things to dial in what we need to do the next day. And days before games, I make sure I get lots of sleep. I eat a lot the night before. I get a good breakfast in, lots of eggs, protein, things like that.
Very good. Now you're a senior as well?
Yes.
What plans, if any, have you made for next year?
I don't know. I don't think I'll be playing later at the next level, but yeah.
It's about school.
Oh, school. I'm not sure. I'm undecided for my major too.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Mizzou.
There we go.
Mizzou. All right. Now, is that family, or are you just a fan?
Just a fan. I got friends there. I'm rooming with my teammate Aiden. And my manager.
Now, Eddie's brother is a Jayhawk, so it's we got one in the family that figured it out.
Uh-oh. Okay, very good. Well, hey, Eddie, hey, congratulations, and best of luck. Safe travels going up.
Thank you.
Coach Bathis, again, we are visiting with Webster Grove Statesman basketball and head coach Justin Mathis. And, Coach, you've got Westminster Christian Academy, 6 p.m. What do you know about them? And I see you've played them already once this year, and it was a nail-biter as well.
Yeah, played them last year in a really good game in Coaches vs. Cancer, and played them this year. Third game in 3 days. Both of us had been kind of upset the night before. So not a, I think both of us were probably more focused on ourselves at the time. And I don't think they played us probably as scout specific as they will in the Final Four with everything on the line, obviously. But tremendous team, very, very well coached. Coach Ribble, have as much respect for as anybody in the state. His teams are always very fundamental, very disciplined, tough, hard-nosed. And they're playing their best basketball at the right time. I mentioned our sophomore guard, Atkinson, and we think is playing as well as anybody in the state. But JD Powers, their sophomore guard, is right there with them, averaging about 27 a game since the playoffs started. He's been unreal. And they just do a great job of taking care of the basketball. They don't take bad shots. So they're able to oftentimes control the tempo, and you just have to be fundamental and match their level of discipline and execution. So it's a tremendous challenge, which is what it's always going to be, what it should be in the Final Four. But yeah, there's some familiarity there.
Coach, when the score comes into a scoreboard guide on the Missouri Sports Network tomorrow, and then you guys have come out on top, what's one or two stats that you're going to be able to point to and say this is why we won the game? Is it turnovers, rebounds, time of possession?
I think rebound margin is going to be especially important. I think you have two teams that while a lot of people look at us and Westminster and think they lack size, I think we both take pride in the glass, and I think whoever's able to impose their will there will have success. And then, like you said, the turnover margin, just the way they take care of the basketball, and when you look at their assist to turnover ratios, individually and as a team, they're very, very impressive. And you can't allow them, if you have 12 turnovers and they have 6 and they win the glass too, all of a sudden you're talking about them getting 10 more field goal attempts in a game. And that's a very hard thing to overcome. So I think you hit it on the nail. The turnover margin in the glass will go a long way towards deciding the game.
Outstanding. Coach, again, thank you so much for your time today. And gentlemen, for everybody in the room that's on screen, well, everybody in the room can do it as well, but just by signaling it, by raising your hand, I'm a mandated reporter for the Missouri State Highway Patrol. Do you always wear your seatbelt? Very good. All right. No tickets going out to this group. Coach, thank you so much. Hey, safe travels. God bless.
I appreciate it, guy. Thank you.
You bet. You're watching the Missouri Sports High School Game Day on the Missouri Sports Network. Back after these messages.
The Walnut Street Inn is located in the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State campus, Hammonds Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective, and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevy.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. As always, presented by the Bank of Billings, established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Also presented by Chevrolet and Chevy dealers of the Ozarks. We go to Parkview High School, and we welcome in the Final Four participant, the Parkview Vikings basketball team with head coach Jack Simpson. Coach Simpson, hey, number one, congratulations, and thanks for being part of the show.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. I appreciate you having us on.
And, Coach, long time in coming for the Vikings. 1981 was the last Final Four appearance. Tell us a little bit about what this means to the program and to the school district.
Yeah, obviously it's huge for our program. We were so close a year ago, probably a couple missed free throws away from doing this last year as well. To be able to get over the hump this year, it just means a lot to our school. Means a lot to the district as a whole. Obviously, kind of put Parkview back on the map, and a lot of it's a testament to these four seniors and the work they've put in with me for the last 3 years, but really the last 4 years.
And Coach, you 19-11 right now, but coming into this season, what did you have to replace that you lost due to graduation, and who were some of the folks that stepped into those roles?
Yeah, we replaced our starting. We replaced two starters. Jamal Johnson, who was a 6'8" senior last year. He actually went up to Westminster College and was newcomer of the league in the SLIAC. So he had a big freshman year at Westminster. So obviously replacing him, was big. And then we lost TJ Hill, who was our second leading scorer from a year ago. And on any given night, could go for 20 plus. So then we lost two guys off the bench, and Tayshawn Finley and Chris Young, both great leaders and great role players. And honestly, we replaced those guys with just young guys. We have a sophomore in our starting lineup, and Ethan Fernandez, who's been one of our best defenders, and his role has increased throughout the year. And then we have Easton Nash, who comes off the bench, also another sophomore, who scored 20 plus multiple games this year and has the ability to really shoot the basketball really well. And then Kasai Hiley, who's our star football player here, came in and has had a big role for us on the basketball court as well. Just an energizer, can get to the rim, finish at the rim, and really good defender. So we use some of our young guys to replace, the seniors from last year, and then obviously the four seniors behind me. So we rotate about 7 guys, but we got 11 that are going with us to Columbia, and a couple of guys that have played big minutes, like Timothy Lawson, played in the Tournament of Champions, got an and one late in the game against Milton to give us a chance to win, and Isaiah Hampton, and then Cordell Davis, and then Ashton Nelson have all been a part of our varsity team this year and have contributed in different ways.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, as you look at your season, go back to January 31st, you're sitting at 9-9. Then you just go on this run. What was it a change in the lineup? Was it a change in attitude? Was it, and it may have to do with the coaching staff figuring out, roles and responsibilities. Go back to that game and kind of what, from then on, what precipitated you guys to get to the Final Four?
Yeah, we talk all the time about playing our best basketball at the end of the season, and we feel like we started doing that in February, and it's kind of trickled into March. But that stretch in January, I feel like our record's very deceiving. Out of our 11 losses, 10 of the 11 were to state ranked or nationally ranked opponents. Multiple of those are still playing. Meaning they're going to play in the Final Four this weekend with us. So our record really doesn't do us justice to what type of team we feel like we are. And then in February, our 2 losses one was to Central in double overtime in a game where we missed 16 free throws. And then the other one, we lost basically at the buzzer to Republic in just a battle between 2 really good teams that we feel like got us prepared for this state run. So, we haven't shied away from competition at all. We played in Bass Pro. We played Oak Park, played at Nixa, played at Kickapoo. The list goes on. So when you play a really good schedule, it prepares you to make runs like this in March.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, take us through that district, Class 5, District 6 tournament. You guys were the champions. You defeat Webb City 52-40 in the championship of that contest, but you play a good West Plains team and a good CJ team leading into that. Kind of take us through that district.
Yeah, the district was really really good this year. We talked just as a coaching staff. We really felt like there were 7 different teams in our district that could have won the district. So we got the 2 seed. We got matched up with West Plains, and West Plains beat us a year ago at Hillcrest when we played them, and so it was really since then we just haven't taken those guys lightly, and they played well, and we kind of battled back, and then we played Carl Junction at Webb City, which is basically a home game for Carl Junction. They're about 6 miles down the road. They had a really good crowd, and we were able to kind of build a lead going into halftime and sustain that lead through the second half. And then we played Webb at Webb, who upset Central the Friday night before. And anytime you go on the road and you play a team on their home court, it's always tough. And we didn't play super well that night. You got to give a lot of credit to Webb, but we were able to battle and sustain the lead in the fourth quarter, and just like the experience, like the 4 guys behind me have just been in those games before, and that definitely showed late in that game.
Outstanding. Well, before we talk about the Class 5 tournament, you've got your 4 seniors there. Introduce wherever you want to start, and we'll visit with them, and we'll talk to them a bit.
Yeah, so just right here to the right of me is Carlito Sanchez. He's our point guard. He's been starting for us for 2.5 years now, I guess you can say. To the right of him is Eli Govin. He's a 3-year starter. He's been starting since the sophomore year. Desai Green has started the last 2 seasons and has been playing varsity. He's the 3rd one over, has been playing varsity since his sophomore year. Sophomore year, he came off the bench for us. And then Christian Cordova he's new to the starting lineup this year, but has been playing varsity for all 3 years.
So we'll start with Carlito. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. You pretty excited?
Yes, sir.
What's it been like since you come back? You get the district championship, and now you've got a trip to the Final Four on the line, something that hasn't happened in, you're talking about 45 years since it's happened. I don't even know if Coach Simpson was alive at that point, but
I was not.
Well, very good. Well, Carl, tell us a little bit about your impression of the season up to this point.
I mean, it's like going into the season, we knew we could do it, but we just had to believe in Coach Simpson and believe in our guys. And we went through a little rough patch in the season, but we knew if we just rallied through it, we could get through everything and get where we wanted to be. And now we're here.
Tell us a little bit. You're the point guard, 2.5 years, Coach mentioned. Has that been your role since maybe you going back to junior high? Have you always been in the point guard position?
Yeah, because I've always been the smallest kid on my team. So yeah, I've always been a point guard.
Tell us a little bit about coming into the season. You look at your schedule. What were some games coming in that you were really looking forward to? Maybe it's a rivalry game. Maybe it's a team that maybe got you last year that you felt like you shouldn't have lost to, or maybe it's just a game you love playing.
I mean, like Coach Jack said, we lost to West Plains last year, so we were all looking forward to playing them. And then a lot of our friends and stuff go to Central, so we look forward to playing them. And then obviously the Tournament of Champions, we were happy to play in that as well.
How do you feel like with the Tournament of Champions and some of the other big games? Do you feel like that's prepared you for this stage that you're getting ready to play on in the Final Four?
Yeah, I feel like it did because the competition is definitely very high. We play against some high major dudes, so I think that gets us pretty prepared.
Well, again, we're visiting with Carlito Sanchez here with the Parkview boys basketball team. And Carlitos, what plans, if any, do you have for next year being a senior?
I want to go to college to play basketball, but I haven't decided where I want to go yet.
You got any particular area of study, or you want to be an accountant or a doctor, or?
I want to be a coach, so probably the educational side of things.
Yeah. Hey, that's great. I didn't make my decision as far as what my degree was going to be in until my 3rd year in college, because my major was eligibility, so all my classes were in the gym.
Hey, that's about these guys too right now, so don't let them fool you.
All right. Well, Carlitos, again, hey, congratulations on being part of the team of the week here, going to the Final Four, and much good luck. And, hey, go get the big trophy and come back, and we'll do this all again next week.
Thank you.
All right. And, Coach, who do we have next?
This is Eli Govin, 3-year starter for us since the sophomore year, and he's right on the cusp of 1,000 career points as well. He's 10 points away, so hopefully he can get in the next 2 games.
Eli, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Talk a little bit louder. Tell us a little bit about what your role is on the team.
My role, I block shots. I get rebounds. I score sometimes, once in a while. But yeah, that's about it.
You score sometimes. You got 1,000 points. So
yeah, but yeah.
Tell us what games you were looking forward to coming into this season.
I was looking forward to Oak Park because Coach Jack talked about it a lot going to the season. I was looking forward to TLC as well because the atmosphere and how many people be going to that, and it's the number one tournament in the nation, and that's about it, really.
Yeah, you win the game against Elias, so now your ticket's punched. You're going to the Final Four. Who's the first person you heard from outside of your teammates and coaching staff?
Can you repeat that question?
Yeah, who was the first person that called you or texted you to congratulate you after you punched your ticket for the Final Four?
Oh, my parents. Yeah, my parents. My little brother, especially.
They're pretty excited.
Yeah.
What's it been like? And I know you guys are on spring break, so you really haven't had an opportunity, to get back amongst the student body. But I mean, does the food taste a little bit better? The Coca-Cola a little bit colder? What's it like?
Oh yeah, everything's been well. Especially since the spring break. Knowing that we're going to the Final Four and we're during spring break. It's pretty fun.
Very good. What are you looking most forward to as you get on the road here to head up to Columbia?
The atmosphere and playing Mizzou Arena.
Very good. Well, Eli, what plans, if any, do you have for next year?
I want to play college basketball, but that depends on whatever school wants me for real, and wherever I'll fit in.
All right, very good. Well, Eli, hey, congratulations and best of luck as you go forward. Safe travels, and we hope to visit with you soon.
Thank you.
You bet. And Coach, who do we have next?
Yeah, to the right of Eli's Desai Green. He led us against Elias with 28 points. And he is also on the cusp of 1,000 career points as he's 20 points away from 1,000. So both those guys are hoping to achieve that in the next 2 games.
Desire, are you hoping to get there first? Is that from the 28 points?
No, I just want to win, and if I happen to get there first, then I'll have some bragging rights. But no, it's not no competition.
And Desire, tell us a little bit about what your role is on the team, and has it changed since maybe your freshman year?
Definitely since my sophomore year and last year, I kind of had the same role, but it's just grown. And I just play defense, get in the paint, make plays, and then hit open shots. Just make plays for my team, use my athleticism and my size to guard, and then that's it.
You had that tremendous game against Elias Catholic here in your last game out. I talked to a lot of baseball, football guys, but baseball guys, for example, pitchers. They're warming up and they're hitting their spots in pregame. They feel like they're going to have a good day. Basketball players, sometimes in their pregame warm up, if they don't hit anything, they're going to have a good day. What was the pregame like for you both going into that game? Did you feel like you had it, or did it just start clicking once the game got going?
I mean, really, I was just locked in on the game the whole time. I wasn't really worried about the warm-ups. We were just worried about our game plan, worried about winning, and then I think that's what got it done, really, just being focused the whole time.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but Chevy Dealers of Chevrolet sponsors a male and female athlete of the week, and this week you were selected. So on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And does I talk a little bit? Let's say you could get in a time machine. and you could go back to Josiah Green that was an 8th grader. If you could give yourself some advice based on what you know now as a senior, what advice would you give yourself? I mean, would it be get in the weight room more, get in the classroom, get more shots up, calm down? Or what advice would you give yourself based on what you know now as a senior?
It would really be just don't focus on the outside noise and just worry about what you got going on and trying to get better yourself.
Well, outstanding. Well, again, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations on being named the Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
You bet. What are your plans for next year?
I plan to play in college, but I haven't decided where I'm going yet.
You got a lot of time. Hey, congratulations. Thank you. And Coach, our last victim here.
Yeah, to the right of him is Christian Cordova. Like I said, he's also played for 3 years, but this is his first year in a starting role, and obviously with increased minutes. So he's been a big part of our team, big part of our success. Hit 3 threes Friday night at Elias.
Christian, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I am doing well. Christian, tell us a little bit about how your role has changed from last year to this year, getting the more minutes, and what has that meant to you?
I mean, my role has always been just shooting the basketball whenever I get and whenever I'm open. And just getting more minutes was pretty good. I just had to play a good role in my part and do what I can to benefit the team and others around.
Christian, if you could go back at any time over your high school career and play one game over again, maybe it was a game you had a tremendous amount of fun. Maybe it's a game, maybe you go back to last year, and maybe it's that game that got away from you and you felt like you should have won or could have won. Is there a game in your history that you would like to go back and play again?
Probably Oak Park.
Very good. Very good. Well, Christian, hey, on behalf of the Missouri Sports Network, hey, congratulations on being part of the team of the week. And, hey, best of luck as you go forward here and go get the biggest trophy and come back and we'll do it again next week.
Thank you, sir.
Coach, you've got what are the plans now between now and traveling to the Final Four?
Yeah, so we're going to practice today. Actually, when we get off here, we're about to go do that. So we're going to practice today, and then we're not going to leave until tomorrow. And then we're doing a Final Four send-off. So we're hoping to get, some community support, some support from our student body. That's going to be at 10:15 a.m. tomorrow on Wednesday. We're going to leave at 10:30 tomorrow after the send-off, and then go down to Columbia College and have a short practice down in Columbia before we do a team meal and get ready to play tomorrow night at 8 p.m.
You've got Summit Christian Academy who comes in 26-4. I believe it's Tulis Truesdale's their coach, who was point guard at Evangel when they won the national championship, I believe.
Yeah, that is correct.
Outside of that, what do you know about Summit Christian, and what are you going to have to do to come out on top?
Yeah, I know we're going to have to play really well. They got to the state finals a year ago in Class 3 and came up just a little short against New Madrid. So they've been in the Final Four before. Obviously, they're really well coached with Coach Truesdale. They have an outstanding sophomore that's about 6'5", 6'6", and Mike Jones. You really get to his spots, averaging about 17 a game. And then they have a point guard that's about 6 foot that he's in the month of February alone, he's averaging about 29 a game, and he's scored over 650 points for this season. He's a Columbia College commit, and both those guys are going to be handfuls. And then they got a plethora of role players who are pretty talented as well. So we're going to have our hands full in the semifinal game, and we're just looking forward to the opportunity to play in it.
Outstanding. Well, gentlemen, I have one more question for all of you, and you can just signal it by a raise of your hand. And I am a mandated reporter for the Missouri State Highway Patrol. And the question is this: do you always wear your seatbelt? All right, no tickets for you guys. Hey, guys, safe travels. Good luck and God bless. And thanks for being part of the show today.
Thank you, Guy, for having us.
All right, we'll be back after this.
Hi, I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days.
Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck.
And a high-tech Chevy SUV.
Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate! Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevy.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Presented by Bambino's Italian Cafe at Battlefield in East Lone Pine, home of our quarterback club, tip-off club, and leadoff club. Leadoff club starts March the 24th, which is this coming Monday. Hey, join us, $10. Get in, all you can eat. Bamboo Italian Cafe. And we go now to Great Southern Bank Arena, and we welcome in the Logan Rogersville Wildcats and head coach John Schaefer. Coach Schaefer, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Guy. Thanks for having us.
27-3 on the season, a tremendous season, obviously not over, making another trip to the Final Four. Tell us a little bit about how the season's gone for the Wildcats.
Well, it's gone, like you said, it's gone really well. We set a bunch of goals this year and achieved them. We always set goals on the board, individual goals and team goals. And, it's been nice to kind of recreate what we had, the success we had last year. So, we got a conference championship, we got a district championship, pretty much a trophy in every tournament, whether first or second. And I think we took third in Lindbergh. Yeah, third in Lindbergh. So they've had a great season, and they're right on the heels. Last year's Final Four team, we joked all year about how we couldn't recreate that record for the season. And actually they did. So both teams at this point going to the Final Four were both 27-3 going in. So that's pretty cool, and especially with the change of conference, change of schedule, and these guys really accepted the challenge and had just done a really nice job. So we're happy to be going back to the Final Four, and just enjoy. Missouri State was gracious enough to let us in here and practice on a college on the floor, and our gym is being worked on right now. So due to our indoor facility, so kids got to come up here and shoot. It's been fun.
Coach, 27-3 last year at this time going into that. What did you have to replace just due to graduation, and who is kind of maybe some of those guys that have stepped into those roles?
Well, we graduated 3 starters last year, almost kind of 4 really. So we had some big shoes to fill with Scott Metz, our 6'6" post, and Stuart McDonald, who's here kicking for Missouri State, and Ross Lawrence, who's pitching for Missouri State. So we missed some really good athletes, and we had some nice bench players as seniors as well. So really, we try to just plug in guys and kind of recreate what we've done before, and had some success doing that. We're a different type of team probably than we were last year. Probably a better basketball skill team, but as far as physicality and some senior, strength and leadership, we missed early, and kind of got over that. Guys have really accepted their roles, and we've had good leadership throughout the year, and so it's paid off. But we really sent back a lot different team than last year.
They've won 16 games in a row right now going into the Final Four. What do you feel like as a team you're doing really well right now?
Just probably our youth has started to mature some of the things, the mistakes we made. Guys are getting better, getting stronger, figuring out the physicality of the game, and just just your cohesiveness as a group. So guys are figuring that this accepting roles. If you haven't accepted your role by this time in the season, you probably don't have a role. So they've done a real nice job of that, and just playing well. Chase is picked up right where he left off last year and led us, and we've kind of huddled around him through our offense, and he's came up with big shots as he always does, and our guys have done a good job of getting him the ball and being unselfish, and then when he's out or having issues, they pick up the slack, and so we've had it from all areas, and it's been nice.
Well, with the success that you've had in your background and the number of Final Four appearances that you've been a part of, going back to maybe that early Final Four trip to now, how have you changed as far as how you handle, getting onto this stage?
I'm way more laid back. These guys they're soft compared to what some of those they don't think I am, but yeah, for sure. You just try to enjoy it more and just prepare on what's ahead of you. So it's all business when you get there. To get there, it's all business, but you want to enjoy it as well. And it's just so hard to do with the being nervous about things and the environment. But really, it's once you get to the Final Four, in my mind, some of the stress is off. Now it's just you let the best players play and the teams play, and the best ones are going to win. So. They're prepped. They've had some of these guys have had 2 years of preparation, and maybe even 3. But as far as probably I handle it, it's the same as them. I've probably matured more over the years, and not worry so much about some things, and just dial in on some certain key things that I think that are important.
As I've talked to coaches who are making this trip over the 18 years I've been doing this, most coaches will say that the hardest game for coaches and players is that quarterfinal game, because once you get to that, you've got to win it to go to the Final Four. What are your thoughts?
Oh, we're nervous wreck. That's what the thoughts are. Everybody's nervous, no matter if you hide it or not. It's inside. Your anxiety is pretty high, and it's the environments of those games are super loud, and it's just a lot of emotions are everywhere. So. It's just one you prep for, and there's really no way to prep for it. It's like we told our guys that before the game, it's really not about who's going to be better X and O's wise, and who's going to run their stuff better, and who's going to do this. It's really about just who's going to be more physical, who's going to work to do what it takes to win, and really at the end of the day, it's a strong survive. And we talked about that as. I know you're going to get tired. You got to fight through that. Can't have any, defense possessions where you take a play off. It's constant. So just prepping for that and trying to get through that in an environment that's so loud and so many things are going crazy is hard to do.
We've got 3 young men there with you. You would start wherever you'd like, introduce them one at a time, and I'll visit with them.
Sure, I'll start with the youngest, the baby here. Chase Branham's right here to my left in the front. And then the back corner here is Dane Smith. And then Jace Pettiford. These are our 2 senior guards back here. So they're dying to talk to you, so you can ask them any questions you want. They're super, they love talking.
Well, Mr. Branham, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Tell us a little bit about your role on the team, and it's probably very similar to what it was last year, but kind of define your role.
I'd say my role is to score the ball, be a good leader, and lock down on defense. I think those are 3 main things that my role was last year, and I'm continuing on this year. But yeah, for sure, those are the 3 main things. But still continuing to get better at being a teammate. That's the main thing. My main thing I need to get better at. Being a better teammate for sure. Just leading my guys. I'm young. Just trying to get experience, and we're a young team. We got some freshmen coming off the bench and freshmen starting. So just I was in their position last year, so I understand what they're going through. So just trying to be that mentor to them and just get my team on the right path.
As you come into the season and, just by virtue of what I do, I look at the schedules for everybody and I pick out some games. Hey, I'd like to be at this game or like to see that game. Do you find yourself at the beginning of the year looking at your schedule and looking forward to games? Are there games that you really look forward to coming into the year?
Yeah, for sure. There's a ton of games I had circled on my calendar this year. The first one was our Summit Christian tournament. I play in the summer with a kid on that team, so we kind of had a little trash talk because we fell to him last year earlier in the season. So definitely that one was one of the main ones. Another one of my teammates from the summer plays for Ozark. I had that one circled. Pretty good team from around here. And then Blue and Gold tournament. Some of those tournaments we played in. Definitely wanted to win those or have a good shot at that. What was that tournament in St. Louis? Lindbergh tournament. Know some kids from up there, so excited to play in that one this year. And Nick's Invitational, of course. That's a main one that, top competition comes down and plays here in Nixa. And then definitely the Final Four. That's the main thing this year is get to that state championship and give Vashon a run. So those are some of the main games I had circled this year.
What do you do to kind of get prepared? You're taking on a Benton team at 4 p.m. in a couple of days here. What are you doing right now to get prepared? I mean, obviously you're at practice.
Yeah.
But what are you doing mentally and physically to kind of get prepared for that game?
Mentally just kind of locking in, watching film, noticing their strengths and weaknesses, but also just getting in the gym and trusting my work whenever that time comes. Getting in the gym with my trainers or if I'm in here practicing, just trying to get those mental reps of, all right, this is the type of shot I want to take in the game, or like this is the spot I want to get to. But just getting over that mental aspect of knowing what you're going to do in the game and when that time comes to knock it in or make the extra pass. So I'd say those are the main things. Just trust your work and yeah.
Very good. Well, hey, congratulations on getting to this point once again, and we look forward to seeing you guys participate, and safe travels up there, but enjoy it. And thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
And Jason, who do we have next behind you?
Let's go with Dane. He hates talking, so we'll get him out of the way there.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. And tell us a little bit about what your roles and responsibilities are on the team.
My role has really just been to lock down defense and hit open shots whenever Chase penetrates, gets the D sucked in, and then sit open shots when I'm open.
So are you like the defensive specialist? I mean, do you typically handle the other team's best player?
Not necessarily.
No.
All right. Well, tell us, were there games that you were looking forward to coming into this year?
I had Summit as well, just because we fell to them last year. Ozark, because we don't typically play them, and they're a higher class than us, so get a higher class. Then Hartville, that's where our coach is from. And Blue and Gold, obviously, and then the district championship.
So being a senior, obviously this is a tremendous opportunity for you. Tell us a little bit about what this means your senior year to have an opportunity at a state championship.
I mean, following last year's seniors, you just want to get back to the same place they were, and that was my goal all year, was get back to the Final Four, and it just feels good to do that. I mean, follow in their footsteps.
Now, if you could get in a time machine and go back to that Dane Smith who was in the 8th grade and give yourself some advice based on what you know now as a senior, and that advice may be get in the weight room more, get in the gym more, get in the classroom more, what advice would you give yourself based on what you know right now?
I'd say mostly work harder in the gym and be a lot more physical early on, because that's what it comes down to in games, just being physical and outphysicaling the other team.
Very good. Well, Dane, hey, congratulations on being part of the team of the week, and best of luck as you go forward. Go get the biggest trophy, come back, and we'll do this all again next week.
Thank you.
All right. And then who do we have next?
Jace Pettiford is our other senior starting guard.
Jace, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Tell us a little bit about what your roles and responsibilities are.
My roles are to play defense, get rebounds, hustle, hit open shots,
So are you the defensive specialist?
I think I am.
Heard the Dane, yes.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
Not the Dane can't guard. Dane can guard. He guards.
Sometimes.
Jason, tell us a little bit about were there games coming into this year that you were looking forward to?
Yeah, same as them. Probably that Summit Christian game because we lost to them last year. I want to beat them really bad. Then the Ozark game because it's at Ozark. I want to beat them bad. And the Blue and Gold and now the Final Four.
As you look back on your high school career, and maybe at the varsity level, that's the last 2 years, maybe 3. Are there a game, or maybe a couple of games that you'd like to go back and play again? Maybe it was so much fun, or maybe it was a game that got away from you and you thought you could win. Hey, I'd like to go take another shot at that. Are there games in your past that you'd really like to go and play again?
Yeah, I'd say probably Kickapoo last year or this year in the Blue and Gold championship because I think we could have beat them. We just fell short, but that game for sure I'd want to go back to. And then like a few that we just didn't play good and we should have won, like Elias this year. Just a few games like that.
Very good. Well, Jason, thanks so much for being part of the show. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach Schaefer, what you got? What are you guys going up? What's the plans for the Wildcats?
We're going to have a send-off on Friday morning because obviously our girls are going too, which is pretty cool for the school. That's a big deal for everybody in our community. So we're going to leave out in the morning. We're going to have a breakfast at 7 a.m. And then we've got to get on the bus by 8. And we're going to go up there and practice at 11. So we'll have a send-off and all of those things. And then after practice, we'll eat, then stop by a hotel, and then we got to be at Mizzou Arena or by 2 o'clock. So it'll be a quick, fast day. So trying to just recreate kind of like a school day so that we're accustomed and norm. So it should be an easy trip, and the hardest part will be playing St. Joe Benton.
St. Joe Benton, what do you know about Benton, and what are you going to have to do there to come out on top?
Well, they've got a rim protector that's about 6'8". He's a problem, a nice player, athlete, a real good guard, and then another scoring guard that's averaging about 20. So those are the three main guys, and they're tough. They guard real well, and that's pretty much why they're there. So they're physical. They remind me a lot of us. So it should be a tough game and a battle starting out, but it's one we think we can win. We've had some common opponents, and so we're familiar with kind of what's going to happen. So really, it'll just be we'll need to shoot it well. If we shoot it well, I feel pretty good. If we don't, I'm sure they'll have something to not let us shoot it well, but that'll be probably the biggest key. We've just been trying to work on our offense and get guys open besides Chase because he draws a lot of attention. So. No, we've got a great chance to win that game, and but it's one at a time now. So you're going to get everybody's best game.
Outstanding. Well, Coach Schaefer, thanks so much for helping set this up. I know it's a busy time for you, and I appreciate you taking time, to meet with us here at the Missouri Sports Network. And safe travels going up, and bring back the biggest trophy. And we'll do this all again from school next week.
Well, sounds good, Guy. Appreciate you having us on, and thanks for everything you do.
You bet. You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, and presented by Doak Propane, RBW Agricultural Farm Sales, and the Bank of Billings. Back after these messages.
The Walnut Street Inn is located in the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State campus, Hammons Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.